Hi everyone, welcome back to our next video. We just shot an interview with Dave and Ashley, and now we're going to take a tour of their bus. And Dave, what's that you got there?
This is our official fence that we jumped over. Quite literally a week after we decided on the name Jumping Off the Fence, which was our big leap of faith into this lifestyle. We found this for like 50 cents at Goodwill, and we thought it was destiny because this is like the coolest little fence in the world, and it's been in every picture of everywhere we've gone. It's our traveling gnome, so it means a little something to us, and yeah, we enjoy it.
We learned in the interview that you were living the American dream, had all the money, had all the success. Everyone thought you were great, and yet you decided it wasn't really what you wanted, and you decided to move into a school bus, rags to riches in reverse.
Yes, we've become wealthy and healthy is the way I like to describe it. So wealthy being is that we're finally doing what we want, not what other people have told us. And it's irregardless of money, and that's the cool thing. So everything is extremely budget cost effective for us because we did go through bankruptcy. So literally it's living with a purpose. So everything that we've put into this bus, we know we're going to have a really great use for. We're not just throwing stuff in here because we heard it was the thing to do, and we didn't just go out and run out and buy stuff. We had to purposefully think about the things that we were actually putting in here from a cost perspective and a meaning perspective. So
how much have you got into it now?
Yeah, we're in total around $4,200 to $4,400, and that's including the bus. And insurance is actually really cheap too. It's only $49 a month.
Oh, that is cheap.
Yeah, so we're super happy about that.
So the bus was $3,000.
Yep.
And show us your home and how you've done it so cheap.
So come on in. We've got our couches here, and we built these a little bit bigger. As you can see, if I were to sit down here, they're a little bit higher than what normal people would say as a couch. For the pure reason, if you look over here, we left this open for you guys. It's got a great amount of storage.
Wow, huge amount.
Yeah, so this is like our root cellar, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, that's a very good idea.
Another good cost thing and fun. Going after the value of things, making your own fermented food. So making your own pickles, beets, tomato juices, all of that kind of fun stuff. And we did this as a family it's my great-grandma's recipe. So we've been doing that for several family generations, which is really cool. And amazing pickles too. But that's always a fun experience with the kids, doing it with Grandma and Grandpa.
Mentioning the kids, you have 2 kids with you.
2 kids, yep. A 5 and a 6.5-year-old. She turned 7 in June, so yeah.
And so far, this is all just basic 2x4 carpentry.
Basic 2x4 stuff, yeah. And just real cheap paneling. This is the thicker one. This is actually going to be our electrical box in here. We'll eventually put a deep cycle marine battery or something like that in there. But really tried to be as thin as possible while still providing the support. And then we're leaving these things open because we're just going to put a board across it, and then that's additional storage as opposed to covering the outside. And then you have a whole bunch of wasted space that's not all that functional. And then moving back through here, we've got a whole bunch of reclaimed stuff. So our pride and joy is this little beauty here. This was actually 3 times longer when we first got it. It was out of an office space, and we ended up getting it free off of Craigslist. So Craigslist has been amazing to us. Before we actually left, we actually had a whole garage full of this type of stuff because we didn't know quite what we were doing in the bus. You just searched the free Craigslist posting, and in our city, there was like 100 posts a day. So we got this, and check out how cool these drawers are.
That is amazing.
All separated that our mason jars and everything can fit into. They're nice and smooth. They're heavy duty so that you can have a lot of weight in there.
Oh, that is for free. That's stunning.
These countertops we actually had with us probably for 2 of our offices and 1 of our homes, but we just kept repurposing it, and so we cut these in half, and same thing with these cabinets here. So that all stuff was maybe 7 to 10 years old.
Stuff you had on hand. You
Stuff
found
we
a way
had
to
on
use
hand.
it.
Yep. Same thing even with this really nice coffee table. This,
Or Play-Doh table.
our Play-Doh table, yeah. This was part of a squat rack that I just took the squat rack apart. And then this is actually a reclaimed tree. Because of all the cracks, you can actually go to like a Goodwill or a rehab store, and construction people will actually donate the ends of trees that are considered unfavorable, so they have defects in them, and you can buy them for really cheap. So we actually bought like a quarter of a tree, and we have a whole bunch of this stuff that we're making our headboards out and that kind of fun stuff. Another fun trick, 2 pails for our composting. Instead of buying the urine diverter, we actually just go number 1 in one bucket and number 2 in the other bucket.
Yep.
It works.
Instead of paying the extra $60, $70 for the urine diverter that you can get online. Yeah, that it works well. There hasn't been any smell, hasn't been any issues with it, so we're happy with it at this point, and it's been easy to use. So
And we went past your fridge.
yeah,
So you just have a standard house fridge.
yep, standard house
Small
fridge.
apartment fridge.
Yeah, this was actually in, going back to that whole, we had a lot of stuff. We had apartment complexes that we owned, and so we actually took this out of one of them because it had low profile cabinets to begin with. And right now it's just a pantry.
Oh, you're not using it as a fridge.
Not using it as a fridge because we don't have electrical in here yet.
Oh,
We do have, everything is strung up through extension cords at this point. Because we don't have a solar system or a battery bank in that cabinet over there, we just ran extension cords through, and that's like when we can plug in, we'll use the fridge for a little while, but we have one of these small little fridges with the inverter to carry our condiments from place to place and those sorts of things. But most of our food and most of our things that we're living off of are fresh fruits and vegetables and non-perishable trail mixes and canned like sardines and things of that nature. So yeah, the electrical, it actually turned out to be a really nice pantry.
Yeah. And then this is our
it stays cold.
water.
Yeah, and this is our water. This was a $5 find. Normally these things are like
The
$50.
antique shop.
Yep. So that's another thrift store pickup, and super easy to get these jugs filled. Walmart has like 29 cents a
Yeah, it
gallon of
costs
water.
us $1.37 for 5 gallons.
Yep. Which, when you compare it to your water bill from your home.
oh yeah. Well, the average American uses like 200, 400 gallons of water.
Yeah.
Family, the average family.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's obscene.
And then, like, I think our last water bill, like, for the year, I think we calculated out to be $900 at our place. And we're like, God, when you start doing that math of living this lifestyle versus living the lifestyle in your home, your electric bill, your water bill, all of those sorts of things start going away. And suddenly you have all this extra, well, we don't have extra spending cash, but it's,
You will,
hopefully.
hopefully.
Yeah, when you do make that money, then it actually goes to something purposeful and not.
Well, and you're conscious about what you're using
Yeah.
your water and
Very conscious, yes.
Yep. And this is the girls' bedroom. I would say between our bed and their bed, this is the probably the second biggest cost. Is we wanted to use new wood.
Mm-hmm.
We had originally gone down the path of, we had collected enough wood off of Craigslist that we could have built this whole bus out of reclaimed wood, but both Ash and I have sensitivities to mold, and like we can immediately smell it. Our noses immediately kind of flare up. And as we were going through the process of repurposing the boards, we just didn't feel like they were getting enough of the mold out of it. And because this is a health journey for us, we just didn't want that sitting around here. So we figured it was worth the money. If we were going to spend something on this whole lifestyle, it'd be worth it to spend it on these 2x4s and plywood. So that's really where we went with this. And this is still only at like $300 max.
for everything.
For everything.
For
by
here
the
in the
time.
back.
Yeah, for here in the back.
Right.
And this is really sturdy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
these things aren't going anywhere. There's storage underneath. We're going to be putting just, screwing some shelves up for the kids. We'll be making little headers right here with that reclaimed tree that I was talking about.
So those must be your wheel wells down there.
Yep, wheel wells, nice and solid.
Just work around them.
Yep, work around them, insulate them so that you don't hear the noise as much, but really there's a lot of holes that happen in the wheel wells. Like in this back corner, for example, I think there was probably almost a foot big hole. I could reach down and touch the tires when we got this.
So rust, because you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin rust, yeah. And that's why the buses are so cheap up there too. So if you're not afraid to do a little bit of that work, traveling to a northern state to buy the bus is actually highly recommended, because so many people are fearful of all of the unknowns of the rust aspect that they're a couple of $1,000s cheaper up there. The guy even joked with us. He's like, you could probably just drive this bus down to Texas right now and they'll scrap the engine for more than what you paid for the whole bus. You know, they'll give you $3-4 grand for just for the engine. So, yeah, that was an interesting side fact. But yeah, we actually, and speaking of that for saving money, the side panels that come on the bus, normally this is like a metal on the side here.
Yeah.
We took that all off, and that's how we patched the holes in the floor of the bus. So instead of going out and buying new sheet metal, we just tin snipped those out and then polyurethaned them down to the hole area, and then spray foam, or not spray foamed, but that rubber coating that you can do, undercoating. We actually, shopping online, saw a clearance deal through Walmart where instead of the $6 a can, it was like $1.20 a can. So we ended up and just went and got like 40 spray cans or something like that to do the underside of the bus. But yeah, I think.
So is your engine? No, your engine's up front.
Engine's up front.
Yep. This one's a. So you put your lots of storage under there.
Lots of storage. Yep, all of our clothes, and then there's actually a garage behind there.
Oh,
so,
that opens from the back?
Yeah, so this is as far as this can go because there's a wall underneath. Mm-hmm. And then this little door right here, this is our front door. Just opens up like that, and we can get in and out of the bus, so when we lock the front door, this is how we actually get in. And then the garage underneath is all of our like tarps and grills and extra tools. We have tents that we bring with us, fishing stuff, you know, all of the good outdoor stuff.
Mm-hmm. And just plastic storage units. Those were cheap and very, very efficient.
Yeah, and they don't slide open was the big thing.
Yes.
As we were driving, they don't tip open.
Right, yeah. I use those. I highly recommend those. Cheap and light. So, you've just built this bus for pretty much the absolute minimum.
Absolute minimum at this point, yep. Yeah, we just wanted to experience it. We wanted the experience of all the windows open. We didn't want to cover anything up. We wanted to get out and just really see what this life was about and do this in segments. We wanted to make sure that if we were to build something over there, that it was exactly the way we wanted it first, instead of just going through and assuming that we're going to want something built a certain way, and then we do it and then, oh, well, I don't know if that works. So each of these things we really played out and took our time in building. Yep.
Well, you've done a great job. It looks nice, of course. You're just in the beginning process.
Yeah.
But it's very comfortable, very livable, very cheap. You're well on your way to being where you want to be.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around and inspiring us that we can do this ourselves and it isn't all that expensive.
It very much is, yeah. We had been on that RV path for a while, and we are so happy with this that we did it this way as opposed to going out and buying a pre-made RV.
Yeah.
Just did not fit our life, did not want it at all.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, I hope you've learned something, you've been inspired. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you later.